Hello, everybody. It is still time. It is still today. It's still 3 days in a row. Not the usual upload time, but we'll get into that as we start spinning laps around this track. But hello, welcome back to another video. Today we are playing the 12th and final round of the Arena Cross series. We are at Daytona Beach, and this is a very special round because if you run a lap time on this track through the MX Bikes ranked servers, you are going to be entered in with a chance of winning Mr. Legswag himself's jersey, which I think is very, very cool. I know Bogle is, I was going to say a fanless game, but I've heard a little bit of a rumour that with these Beta 19 OEMs, he might be struggling a little bit. But he has very nicely, very generously donated one of his jerseys for you guys to win. So you haven't got to be the quickest. You just have to go and spin a lap time on the track and you'll be entered into that giveaway. Giveaway most likely is going to be held within the MXB Ranked Discord server. So go and check all that out. And if somehow you are the best of the best and you manage to run the fastest lap time, you will also end up winning a prize package from the series supporters. So, you know, people like Bob the Cooler Company, Racetech, you know, so on and so forth, all these lovely people that make the series what it is. So we are going to spin some laps today, and to pay a little bit of homage to Mr. Bogle, I am going to be riding the Stark Varg today, which I've not done in a hot minute. So hopefully we can get that thing, I was going to say screaming around this track, but, you know, zizzing its way around this track, and I hope you enjoy it. Now, the other reason that I was hoping to ride the Varg in this video was there is a slight chance, just a teeny tiny chance, that I might end up being able to go riding this weekend. The sun is slowly creeping out. It's been a fairly dry week so far, and there is a chance I might be able to steal Mr. AJP Team Owner BP's Varg again for another day of riding. There's a lot of, I guess, maybes involved in that. Main reason being is my driving license expired the other day, so I have submitted it again to be renewed. However, you cannot drive until you get the new one, which kind of sucks. So if that arrives tomorrow, W. If not, might have to see if anyone could go out of their way to pick me up. If not, we'll stay at home for a little bit more, and then maybe in another couple of weeks' time we'll actually get to go riding again. So here we are, Daytona Beach. Thank you, everybody, for all of these Arena Cross tracks this year. It's been really, really cool. Starting with like Virtual MX for getting it going in the first place, all the way to Motocross the Game for sponsoring the Real Life series. We have Checkers, who's kind of the man pulling the strings behind the scenes to get this all happening as well. You got people like Reaper and Coxie for doing the marketing side of things. You've then got Question, Kells, and Red Rider, from terrain to stadium to textures to absolutely everything. So for all 12 rounds of this series, thank you all very much. It's been very enjoyable. I've not done every single round, I'll be honest, but the ones I have done, I've certainly enjoyed them. I do have a soft spot for some Arena Cross. Now, we're going to... Please take this as a joke. It is an inside joke. I do talk to these people a little bit. But why on earth are we getting a Bogle jersey? Everybody knows we'd much rather have a Vince jersey. Vince is clearly the fan favourite. Everybody adores him. There is no controversy surrounding him whatsoever. And then if it's just like, oh, it'll be cool to get a guy on the Varg jersey. So we all know that Eddie Wade's quicker than Bogle. Come on, like, what are we doing here? What's going on? How are we getting this amateur racer's jersey rather than some of the top boys? I've just tried to go like triple through this section, or triple then case and then triple out. But the bike's not really moving. We are in alpha mapping. Let me put on 110 so we might get a bit more speed. Apparently, by the way, if you didn't know, I don't know if this is true. I don't do much testing. All the OEM guys always say stock tyre pressure is the best. But a lot of the top boys are running 13.4 in the front, 13.1 in the rear. I do not know what that is converted to bar, so I do apologise. I'm also going to try and shorten the gearing a bunch so we get an absolute crap ton of acceleration. We're going to make it as short as possible and see if that treats me any better around this here treacherous track. Let's see, double. Can we then triple it? Oh, so much easier to triple out. I cased the shit out of that last time round with longer gearing. So there you go. Easy solutions. What was I going to talk about? I literally said it in the introduction and now it's gone out of my brain. Oh yeah, why this video is up later than usual today. So I had every intention of making the video last night and have it up at what is usually midday for me, which is the time you've been seeing the recent videos. However, I'd done the typical Linda thing of putting all of my attention somewhere else. So I stayed up until about 7 AM my time playing Call of Duty Zombies, because even though I've got the camo on Zombies, I also want 100% all the calling cards as well, and some of them take quite a long time. So that's what I was doing. There's no excuses other than that. So now I've woke up today. The time is currently 12:22 of me recording this. So this should be up probably in a couple of hours from now. I want to say maybe 4 p.m.-ish, something like that. Because once I finish recording it, I've got to go and throw it into the editing software to put the outro in and all that good stuff. Cut out any times where I go mute with the mild form of autism. And then we've got to render it together, which for a 15-minute video usually takes my PC like 25 to 30 minutes or so. Then we go upload it, which can take anywhere from 50 minutes to 2 hours, depending on how long the video is. And oddly enough, depending on how detailed the track textures are, it takes, obviously the file size gets bigger. Yeah, bitrate is a huge thing for us YouTubers when we're trying to make this game look somewhat decent. So I say it quite often, but if I come to a stop here, you'll get to see all of the little details and intricacies of the ground. You see all the little bits of shine, all the tiny little bits of dirt sticking out. However, then when you start moving at a decent speed, that obviously is rushing past the screen really quickly. So your software that you're using to capture the gameplay has to try and keep up with all that. And in order to do that, you have to increase your bitrate, which increases file size, and then it just compounds. So once the file size ends up being bigger, the final file that you render ends up being bigger, so the upload takes longer, and so on and so forth. It can be an absolute pain in the bum. So basically, the higher the quality, obviously, goes without saying, the longer the video will take to upload. So there is that. And you will all be happy to know, I didn't say this at the very beginning, I don't think I'm going to say it in the title either, to really benefit people that hang around longer in the videos, there is a discount code for this track. So for one of you very, very lucky individuals, at any point throughout the rest of this video, so it does entice you to watch all the way to the end, doing my absolute best to help the YouTube algorithm there with the watch time, I will flash up on screen a free code for this track. So if you maybe do not have the funds, but you do still have a shop account and you want to give this track a try yourself, then keep an eye out for the rest of the video. The code will pop up at some point. I do have to say that once quite a few people find out that there is going to be a code, they will skim and scan their way through the video to try and find it. So if you're probably not in like the first minute of people showing up to this video, unfortunately, it might have already gone by now. It is a one-time use thing. I've had people comment on others saying, oh, the code doesn't work anymore. So yes, it's one and done. There'd be no reason for tracks to be on shop if, as soon as there's one free code, it's just not paid anymore. So there you go. Try and be quick. If not, better luck next time. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I keep stuffing this rhythm here. I can't get that triple in from the outside. And I have a feeling it might be where that file just has that little bit of build-up. You know, it's not fully instantaneous, even though I am on alpha mapping and I'm on the shortest gearing possible. Like the whoops on this track, though. The whoops are very, very straightforward. It's very easy. So let's take our time. Let me try and properly get into this. Roll on the throttle. There we go. Just had to be a little bit more patient. That's all it took. And then triple, single into the turn. Lovely. And then we're back on start straight. Wanting to land in a wheel there, but I realised I'm not quite Mr. Hodges, so cannot do that with ease. Oh, God. I don't know how I survived that. I think on the normal bikes, front end would have dipped in those and it would have been game over, but the power of the alpha map and the Varg, and you guys can hate me all you want. I get it. I understand people like their combustion engines, I guess is probably the correct word for it. They like their normal motocross bikes. But until you've hopped on one of the Vargs, it's really hard to form a proper opinion. They are generally such a good and enjoyable bike. And the only one of the main reasons why I think I would end up getting one anyway is just the maintenance side of things. I am not mechanically gifted. So all of my time growing up, I had my dad doing my bikes for me, and he was OCD to the point where he wouldn't really allow me to work on my own bike. So I just never learned. So now I am the ripe old age of 29, not knowing how to maintain a bike or anything. So if ever I do get one, I think the Varg would be the way to go. A little bit of lube here and there, plug her in, she's good to go, basically. So a lot less moving parts is the best way of wording it. So I said I was probably going to get one last year. Didn't end up happening. I spent far too much money on a new set of hair anyway, which is actually starting to grow through now, which is quite nice. I spent the last 2 weeks molting, basically, from shock loss, and then at the 4-month mark is when it should start to grow through again. And it's starting already. It's ahead of schedule, so very, very happy to see that. And also the gym/diet grind has been going really well for me at the moment. Unfortunately, that has been put on hold for the last 4 days as I'm waiting for this license to arrive as well. Don't want to risk it. I'm not 100% sure on the rules as such. But as soon as that arrives, we'll be back on that again, and happy days. All is looking good. And it's so weird. So the UK's not the best place in the world to live. We'll be honest. I think anyone from the UK, unless you are filthy, stinking rich, I think we can all agree that. It's grey, it's miserable quite a lot. There's only so many months of prime riding conditions throughout the year. But as I'm sat here recording this, I'm looking out the window that's in front of me. The sun is starting to peek through the curtains. We might be slowly starting to get there. Don't get me wrong. It is still bloody freezing. But the sun is trying to peek out, which is all you can ask for, really. I might ask Linda if she wants to go for a walk after this. We do have a canal, like, just out the back of our house, which uses just like paths all the way along it, which we've always meant to explore at some point. We just never have done. Today could be that day. Once the video is all started to upload, I can just disappear and peace out and enjoy the rest of the day. And I really am upset that Troy has taken me hostage for an entire week, because I would just love to be doing other stuff than stuck inside playing MX Bikes right now. But realistically, other than going for a walk in the sun, I'd be inside playing something regardless. It probably wouldn't be bikes. It'd probably end up being COD, because I've got this whole completionist idea stuck in my head, which probably won't ever happen. If anyone does play it on a regular basis, to compare level-wise, I'm currently at 475, I think it was. I want to say 474, but I want to say it's 475 now. So yeah, pretty damn sweet. And I've played that game almost every single day since it released. And I'm only about halfway to max rank, basically. Yeah, I'm already seeing people that are max rank. And I'm not dog shit at the game. I'm pretty decent. The rate in which I get XP is pretty damn quick. I always try and min-max stuff as much as possible. So I cannot fathom how people are that far ahead. It's not the end of the world. We'll live. I'll get there eventually. I want to... Realistically, if I go up like 4 levels a day, I will end up at the max rank before the game's lifespan is over. Some people could argue that the game's lifespan is over already, because it's pretty poo, to be honest. I mean, the core, the base of the game, I don't think is too bad, but it's just all the microtransactions and the seasonal events and stuff. Well, there's still like game-breaking glitches and hackers and all sorts, but I've not run into too many hackers. I'll just sit here playing my zombies and living my single-player life. I am wondering, if I downside this double into this section perfect, can I then go triple after? That's so much nicer. I'm obviously pretty poor at the game because I can't even scrub a single into a turn, but the fact that you can then double into that corner at the end instead of having to jump into it singling, it's 10 times better. I hate singling into corners on this game. I really do. So if I can now go double, triple, and then double again, I think it just lets you carry so much more corner speed. You haven't got to... So when you single into the turn, obviously as you land into the berm, your suspension will compress, then it will rebound, and then as you get on the power, it will compress again. And there's a lot of waiting around at the midpoint. You have to wait for that bike to rebound and then settle afterwards. Whereas if you double into the corner, you're not jumping anywhere near as far into it. You haven't got to wait for it to settle as much. It's much smoother, much easier. So that's why I like it. So you can scrub here, land in there rather than landing halfway into the corner. Isn't going to give you as much of a rebound either. I mean, some of it can be fixed by slowing the suspension down a bit, so it doesn't rebound as fast. But if you're then trying to go fast around the rest of the track, Whoop specifically, you do need to have quite a fast reacting suspension. Now, I've been playing this for 24 laps. Jesus Christ. Didn't know it'd been that many. Amongst them 24 laps, I've been on 0.5 erode. And I have to say, it's building up really nicely. I had discovered recently that if you run the erode on even 1 in single player, the track gets very boofed very quickly. Again, taking me back to the Beta 19 OEM tyres are absolutely boofed with the erode. So, OEM team, please work on a fix if you're not also doing that already. That would be great. It'd make the not just solo stuff, but even the racing even better. And I'd say keep it 0.5 and below if you was going to do this. Otherwise, you just get death holes appearing everywhere, and you're just going to get ejected over the balls all the time for really no fault of your own. It is just the game. We love it and hate it at the same time. We all like to say how awful it is, yet we come back most days to play it a little bit more. A very love-hate relationship. But I think that's probably going to wrap things up for this. Like I said, thank you very much, Mr. Bogle, for donating a jersey for us to have the potential to win. Again, if you want to do that, head over to MXB Ranked, go to, I think, that special events, I think it's under, and there'll be a server set up on this track to just go and run a lap. As long as you have a lap time that counts, you can leave the server after that, go and refresh the website, and it should show your lap time after a couple of minutes, and that's you entered. You know, you haven't got to be the fastest. Being the fastest just gives you the chance of getting that extra prize package from the series sponsors, which is always a big W. And to everyone, again, involved in making these tracks over the last couple of months, pat yourselves on the back. I think you've done a really, really good job, and hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, all that lovely stuff. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.